Action.
Hello and welcome to Season 4, Episode 2 of The Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Oppen, joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci. Hey, Rob, how are you? And why are we doing this?
I'm feeling great because we get bogged down with bad movies quite a bit in this show. And I got to say, I fucking love the Demolition Man. So I'm really excited to talk about it.
All right, I do too, but that doesn't mean it's good.
It's high art, Chris.
All right, you know what? I feel that we're going to be debating this one throughout. So
it's got flaws. It's got we'll get into it, but it's got flaws. I mean, it's like 1993 action movie, but there are moments like I was like in my bedroom, like in the dark, watching this, like trying not to wake my kid up and wearing my headphones. And I went, yeah, like audibly, like 3 or 4 times while watching it.
Awesome. It was your first time, right?
Yeah, you busted my demolition cherry.
Nice. I'm glad. I demolished it.
Nice.
All right, let's do some bad reviews.
Okay.
James Berardinelli from Real Views. We've turned to him before.
Yeah.
He said, yes, this film is worse than Cliffhanger, which is a movie, by the way, that we have to do.
That's Stallone as well, right?
It is.
Okay.
He's like a guy that climbs cliffs and a plane goes down where like these bad guys were trying to steal a whole bunch of money from the government that was flying over his cliffs. Okay. So, anyway, I'll say no more. So, yes, this film is worse than Cliffhanger, Stallone's last venture into chaos.
All right.
Peter Travers of Rolling Stone says Demolition Man is sleek and empty, as well as brutal and pointless.
Okay. All right. A little harsh, but okay.
You got any YouTube comments?
Yeah, I got 2 of them. I always I'm trying not to be biased towards like our English speaking audience. So I translated one from Arabic.
Oh, nice.
I recommend viewing. They know how to make cool films that you can watch with pleasure.
Wow. Well, very nice.
And then here's one more. It's a longer one. Innovative, riveting, mind-blowing. From the opening credits to the closing of the curtain, Demolition Man was a wild ride of postmodern cynicism and forward-thinking theatrical storytelling. Genius-level meta-commentary on a society gone wrong or gone right. A roller coaster ride that is both superfluous and startlingly accurate in its delivery. A stark criticism of modern life that is not only harrowingly prophetic, but a little too close to home. We owe it all to ourselves to observe the lesson taught by Demolition Man. Sometimes good old-fashioned police intuition and a little help from your friends is all you need. Sandra Bullock was hot too. Tell all your friends. And that was written by me.
I was at the end. I felt like Rob wrote this.
Yeah, so we can skip my review at the end. That's pretty much how I feel about Demolition Man.
Okay. Fair enough. Test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Sure.
So we do what we used to do and take this time 5 different movies and their critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes, average that out, and then compare it to Demolition Man. And our score is the difference. Okay. Let's do test number 1, worst of its kind.
Is this film the best of the worst or the worst of its kind?
All right, sweet. So the first one that I pulled up from the streaming service was Judge Dredd, which is also a Stallone movie.
I've heard great things about that. It's in the same wheelhouse as like Demolition, though, where it's like bad but good. Like,
yeah. Demolition Man is much better.
Okay,
it got a 22.
I know there's that one scene where like you disobeyed the law. They keep saying it over and over again.
Yeah, there's a lot of overacting that happens in that one. It's we probably should have done that one instead.
All right.
The Running Man with Arnold, a 66.
Okay.
Starship Troopers, Denise Richards, 66 as well.
Okay.
RoboCop, Peter Weller, got a 90.
Okay.
I think we've talked about that one before.
Yeah.
And Blade with Snipes got a 57.
Okay.
For an average of 60.2. Do you want to guess what Demolition Man had?
I'm going to say even 50, because I think there's people like me and there's people like you. You like it too, but you recognize how bad it could be. And then there's people that hate it. So I'm going to say like right down the middle on this.
I find it endlessly entertaining.
Okay.
I could watch it every year. But I still maintain that it's a bad movie. And that's why we're doing it. It got a 60.
Okay.
So a difference of negative 0.2. It's got to be the closest shave we've ever had on that test.
Yeah, it's like that's like if you were to sort by controversial on Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got,
exactly.
like it's so close to zero, you don't know if it's upvoted or downvoted. You just like
right, exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so that is our score. It is not the worst of its kind.
Okay.
Judge Dredd is worse. So we will see how that stacks up against Sorcerer's Apprentice later.
Okay.
Test number 2 is the plot pitch. So Rob is going to act like a major producer. I'm going to act like some guy that caught him in the elevator, and I'm going to give him the pitch for this movie, and then tell him how much I need to make it. He's going to ask, or I'm going to ask him if he would make it and to give it a star grade. Simple as that. Test number 2, the plot pitch.
Hey, God, hey, man. Hey, what? You want to hear my movie idea? No.
Sylvester Stallone plays a standard Stallone character. He's a cop in 1996 Los Angeles, but has been ravaged by the evil Simon Phoenix, a gangster with hostages who are dead, but nobody knows that yet. So John Spartan goes in to get Simon, played by Wesley Snipes, but accidentally destroys the building. So it looks like he killed the 30 hostages. But remember, they were already dead. This preserves his morality, you see. The captain of the police is like, freeze him. They Han Solo his ass and then release him 40 years later when Phoenix has escaped his parole hearing with the help of Supreme Chancellor President Cocteau. Cocteau wants Phoenix to kill the leader of the underground ragtags who ruin his otherwise utopian society. This man is Edgar Friendly. So to wrap up, future leader guy secretly releases a Phoenix to kill a Friendly, but also allows the release of a Spartan to capture him. I just need $57 million.
Okay. And you're sure that he preserved his morality because those 30 people weren't dead, right?
Absolutely.
I'll make it.
Yes, he will make it. Give me a star grade.
That's going to get like a 2.5.
Okay. 2.5. Done deal.
All right.
Moving on to test number 3.
When you put it that way, it does sound really fucking stupid. So
it is.
Yes.
All right. Test number 3 is the worst dialogue test. So we're going to give you the top 10 worst lines of dialogue, provided that they are not too overacted, because we might steal them.
Yeah.
That's it in reverse order. So we'll go from the least worst to the worst.
Best worst. Yeah.
Yeah. The best. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Test number 3, the worst dialogue.
The worst movie ever made presents the worst dialogue ever made.
All right, number 10 is the 3 references to Demolition Man.
Yeah, the title card drop.
Do it 3 times.
Yeah.
But the most egregious has to be when the captain in the beginning is like, damn it, John, I'm sick of this Demolition Man shit.
I'm still waiting for the cool black guy. It must be some sort of Demolition Man from like Top Time Machine.
Yeah, right.
I forget his name.
And then they play the Sting song.
Yeah.
Which I hated. Number 9, Simon Says. Anything really when he uses Simon Says, but at 2 different points in the movie he says, Simon Says die. And then he does karate on some guy and kills him. And then he shoots at John Spartan and he's like, Simon Says bleed.
Yeah.
I really
Not
hated
good.
that. No. Okay, number 8. John 2, just a scrap, like one of those underground fighter guys.
Yeah.
The guy's doing these baton twirling things at John Spartan. And so John goes, you're going to regret this for the rest of your life. Both seconds of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, one more for me, and then we'll send it to a clip.
Okay.
For number 6. So number 7, this is when John and Huxley are talking about, they're having a debate about the sex helmets.
Okay.
So John wants to do it the old-fashioned way, and Huxley says, Versex has been proven to produce higher orders of alpha waves during digital transference of sexual energies.
Mm-hmm.
And then John says back to her something, I'm going to paraphrase, but he says, how about we do it the old-fashioned way? Boning, the wild mambo, the hunka-chunka.
Hunka-chunka. So good. So fucking good.
Maybe that should have been higher.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6 is clip number 1.
Okay. I'll get right into it.
Electromagnetic accumulator.
So what? It needs batteries? What size? I mean, where the fuck do you find batteries in the future? Was there a battery store around, motherfucker?
Excuse me, museum patron. Can I?
What? Where's the Radio Shack? Huh? Woo! Sweet music to my ears.
When activated, the magnetic accelerator gun will achieve fusion in 2.6 minutes.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about leaving quickly. Patience is not one of my virtues.
I'm starting to see holes in this movie because there is no Radio Shack in this year.
No.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's rough, that whole section, because I think the battery store thing's supposed to be really funny, but it just doesn't hit for me.
Yeah.
Number 5, John, he says, when a man like Simon Phoenix has a gun to your head, 10 seconds is 9.5 longer than you live.
They really love like the second addition and subtraction on this thing.
They do. Also really cheesy.
Yeah.
Just bad rating. Number 4, Rob Schneider's character. I couldn't even find him listed on like IMDb or anything. Weird.
They took him from SNL too. It's the Robster.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Hey, Robberino.
Yeah, here comes Steve Areno to sharpen his pensorama.
God damn it.
So Schneider's character is watching Simon Phoenix like beat up a bunch of cops, right? And it's like, we're police officers. We're not trained to handle this kind of violence.
I mean, it's timely, even today.
Yeah,
in like the ironic way, you know.
Yes. Number 3, Simon, and then we got 2 clips.
Okay.
Number 3 is Simon. He says he's headed up to Cocteau, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, just shot at him. He missed. Says, damn, my aim must be off. Don't worry, I'll get you with the next shot. And then Cocteau says back to him, I think not. What? No kiss kiss? No bang bang?
I think I should have watched this one with captions.
Yeah, we should just go into number 2.
Yeah, sounds good. Rolling.
Oh, I know that must have hurt. Huh, Soldier Boy? You're on TV. You're dead, Spartan.
Forgot to say Simon Says.
I forgot that we had that little bit there at the end where he does the Simon Says back to him.
Yeah.
Too. But hitting him with a TV, you're on TV. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. No, it's never good.
No, it's not. All right. Are you ready for the number 1 worst line of dialogue in this movie?
And it is playing in a second. Here's the drum roll.
Here you go.
Will do.
Any new info, Rama, on Simon Phoenix?
There is nothing, Lenina Huxley. Where's your John Spartan?
Oh, he went to the bathroom. I guess he got all thought out.
Oh. Sir, I formally convey my presence.
How you doing?
We are not used to physical contact greetings.
Germs.
Look, I don't know if you guys know it, but you're out of toilet paper.
Did you say toilet paper?
Oh, they used handfuls of wadded paper back in the 20s.
I'm happy that you're happy, but the place where you're supposed to have the toilet paper, you got this little shelf with 3 seashells on it.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. I can see how that could be confusing.
I don't believe it.
That's a very aggravating laugh to start off.
It's a theme in like most like subpar movies is the like gratuitous amount of like laughter from one person or a group is what we started to notice, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
There were many lines that disturbed me there.
Okay.
Any new info Rama on Simon Phoenix to start bothered me.
Yeah.
Then the guy I don't know. I've seen him before in a bunch of movies. The like, I don't know what he would be, a sergeant or something. Is like, where's your John Spartan? And then he formally conveys his presence.
Yeah.
Just lame. And then they don't know. It's been 40 years. Mm-hmm. And they have museums about the 20th century, that is. And they don't know what toilet paper is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know, though, if the three seashell things, is that genius or is it like really stupid? I can't tell.
I'm torn as well.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out, like, every time I've ever seen this movie, I'm like, how does it work though? And there's no explanation. That's what's kind of smart about it, is they never tell you.
Yeah, because you think maybe 2.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know why you need 3.
I don't think it would be. I feel like you'd have a pretty chewed up rear end by like day 2 of using the seashells.
Yeah, and like you don't know if it's speed settings or if one like, I don't know, like dabs your pee driblets and one like kind of like swirls around your butt. Like I don't know.
I'm thinking, yeah. Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah, and then
so
there's
how do
number
women,
3.
Yeah, how do women use the 3 seashells to wipe pee-pee?
Well, don't they peel out their butt?
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Sorry. 3rd grade humor.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to get your theory on the 3 seashells. That whole segment, though, like I felt like there were 5 or 6 really dumb lines in there that I hated. Yeah. So I felt like that would be the number 1 section of that dialogue.
That's fair.
Cool. Let's move it on to test number 4.
Okay.
This is our worst acting test. Oh, you know what? Before we do, we got to. So this time we have something to compare it to. So, do you think the dialogue is worse than Apprentice?
Yes,
I agree. I also said yes. So it's just a straight up yes.
Because Sorcerer's Apprentice it's direct. It's not like they're not doing future speak. There's a webcomic called like Nathan Pyle's Strange Planet, and those little blue aliens trying to like use their understanding of things to convey like what they're experiencing on Earth. And like they'll like for toilet paper, they'll be like, oh, we need more of that wind up paper hand contraption for anal wipage. And like it reminded me of that, but like a very poorly done version of that, where like it's like almost like they're speaking like alien speak, trying to describe what they're seeing that they don't understand, and they didn't do well with it.
I 100% agree with you. I've said before, and I know you have agreed with the sentiment, but for the listener, when you are trying to sound like a really, really smart, like well-educated, in this case, like futuristic, but they're supposed to be like, this utopian society, right? Where everybody's well-educated and your writers aren't that smart.
Yeah.
It always just comes off bad.
Yeah. I think Hemingway said, why use a $5 word when 50 cents will do?
Well said. Exactly. So it's like when, Joey from Friends like tried to sound smart. I don't remember what he was doing. He was like making a resume or something, but he used a thesaurus for like every single word. So it was completely nonsensical.
Yep.
It's not that bad, but like it's on its way.
It's getting there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move to test number 4.
Okay.
The worst acting test.
Test number 4. The worst acting. Naturally, we'd use the Catwoman theme for this one. Yeah.
I will literally not deliver a single line here because we're just going to give you a quick clip smorgasbord of the bad acting in this movie. I actually don't think it was terrible, but there's little snippets from our main characters here. So why don't we just let him play with clip number 1? And this is Sandra Bullock's turn.
Now that's a thing of beauty. Huxley, do you know what this is?
A 1970 Oldsmobile 442 with a 455 cubic inch engine, radial tires, and bucket seats.
I'm impressed.
I studied.
So did I.
And what do you think, Rob?
It sounds like a boomer who's like trying to make fun of someone's somewhat complex Starbucks order.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I'll have a mocha doka foca dunkin' Cheeto with a and it's like, and that's how she sounds describing a car.
Yeah, she's definitely over enunciating.
Yeah.
I think she's supposed to sound like cute or something, but it doesn't translate to me.
No.
It just sounds like bad acting. Maybe it was their direction, you know?
Yeah.
Because like even Stallone's not really that bad.
No.
And I like Snipes, who will be featured in our second clip coming up right now.
All right.
Who put it all together? But there's an extra added bonus. We get to kill the man who put most of us behind the freezer.
You mean we get to kill John Spartan?
Exactly. I want you to loot, pillage, plunder. I want you to steal. I want you to do all the wonderful things that we used to do before all of this happened. This world will be ours. Let's bring back the good old days. Yeah. Are you with me? Yeah. Are you with me? Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah.
I don't think he could take that monologue too seriously. And I don't know, it almost seems like that just that section was supposed to be campy from him.
I feel like it didn't fit his character because he was like happily arrogant, like sociopathically violent throughout the rest of it. And here it sounds like he's trying to he's trying to get his redemption or whatever, but I don't think his character would take things that seriously. I don't think he'd care if he succeeded. He just wants to see the chaos.
Yeah, right. He just wants to watch the world burn, right?
Yeah.
One of those. Yeah, there's actual like the are you with me stuff. He's like smiling like ear to ear, but it's not the kind of like evil dastardly smile. It's like let's just move on to the next scene kind of smile.
Yeah.
You know, and then they play like, I don't know, Hook sounds like
yeah.
At the end, it's like kid music almost at the end, and it's like to soften the fact that it was not delivered well or something. I don't know. The whole thing was confused.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Stallone and feature a real quick one from him. But I love this. This is way over the top.
All right. It's over the top.
Nice.
Earl.
Look, I hate to interrupt you two lovebirds, but that's really fucking stupid. You think he wants to start a business? Phoenix is going for a gun, plain and simple. Trust me, he's going for a gun. Okay.
There, not to take it away from him. And I suffer from this a little bit myself, but Stallone always sounds like he has marbles in his mouth.
Yeah.
So when he's like, well, I'm sorry, that's really fucking stupid. It's like, I'll get jumbled up in there and like, just not so good.
Well, how many Rocky movies did he do at this point? Because like he probably took some hits. Probably fucked his job a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good point. I don't know. He's always been like one of those side speakers, talks out of the side of his face. It's kind of weird. Yeah. But it makes it hard for him to deliver like super serious lines.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the I am so excited to play this like 6-second clip, dude.
Okay.
See if anybody, before I even mention who this guy is, see if you can remember this dude, listeners. Rob, why don't you just let it play?
Remember when they used to let commercial airlines land in this town?
Yeah. Well, I don't understand where we're going. Or why the hell we're bothered anyhow.
Oh, my God. Who is that guy?
Bothering anyhow.
What movie are they in? It sounds like an episode of Family Guy.
It does.
All right. Is the acting worse than Apprentice, Rob?
That's tough. I want to say they're more grounded in this movie, and they're all older, more seasoned professionally.
Yeah,
so they handle their roles better. Whereas like whatever his Dave or whatever from Sorcerer's Apprentice,
Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, that's probably like his second feature.
Yes.
Or a second film with that much screen time. So I'm gonna say Demolition Man has better acting than Sorcerer's Apprentice.
That's what I have written as well. Now I think Sorcerer's Apprentice is worse. Because even that Stallone line, like I didn't think he did too bad.
No,
in this movie. Sandra Bullock was good. I really like Wesley Snipes. He's charismatic. He usually delivers his line well. But that particular scene I thought was poorly acted. But overall, not bad.
It was very reminiscent of White Men Can't Jump. The same like cocky arrogance that he has in that movie.
Yeah, which is lovable.
Yeah. It's just like he's a fucking dick. You know he's up to no good, but like you're like, he's cool.
Yeah.
Like
he is cool. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Why don't you do your ad read, and then we'll talk about some interesting facts about the movie.
All right. Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Hulu special, How I Met Your Uncle. Join us on this rip-riding adventure full of surprises around every corner. And then I think they use talk to text on this because it's 3 pages of crying. And I'm going to have to put a pin in this and we'll talk to marketing because I don't think I could read the rest of this on air. So, How I Met Your Uncle, Hulu. Check it out.
All right, sweet. Good thing. Maybe it's best left unsaid.
Yeah.
Teases the listener.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, let's do 5 interesting facts about this movie.
Okay, sounds good.
Things that I read as I was doing research for the program. So number 1, do you remember when Stallone calls the secondary cop, not Bullock, but I forget the guy's name. He has a very similar name too. Yeah, handsome devil from Batman.
Yeah,
or Catwoman rather.
Yeah.
Stallone calls him Pancho Villa.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand the reference.
Isn't that a Don Quixote thing?
Pancho Villa was a general in the Mexican Revolution, apparently. A touted general in the Mexican Revolution. He stars in a 1914 silent film about himself that features actual film of real war.
Okay.
And it got like 70-something on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
All right.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool. I wanted to know who it was because I figured it was going to be like super racist.
Yeah.
You know, but it wasn't as racist as...
I always confuse Pancho Villa and Don Quixote because I know they're both like one's a fictional, one's like I think Don Quixote is kind of like the Robin Hood type figure. But,
yeah, he's the crazy. He's the one that's like completely delusional and like he like jousts windmills.
That's okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Stallone calling him Pancho Villa is still racist.
Yeah.
Because he knows nothing about the guy's heritage.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 2, the producer actually asked Snipes to slow his strikes down because he's a black belt in actuality, and his punches and kicks were becoming blurred on camera because he was punching and kicking so fast.
That's actually awesome. I didn't know that about him.
Yeah. I once knew that, but I had forgotten that he was like he's a serious fighter. Number 3, GM had one of those cop cars. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be a cop car, I don't think, but like it was a futuristic design.
Yeah.
And they called it an ultralight.
Okay.
It cost $2 million, but they made 11 more for the film.
Jesus. That's like half the budget.
Yeah. That's a lot of money to invest in just cop cars.
Yeah.
Number 2, test screenings caused the crew to delete scenes of his reuniting with his daughter. The audience didn't like that John was sleeping with a woman that was his daughter's age.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's actually really fair. Yeah. The time traveling and then like the having sex with women that are probably born the same time your kid was is always never plays out well.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, he's been away for 40 years, so I don't feel that Sandra Bullock's even 40 at this point. So she's younger.
Yeah, whereas like in Interstellar, like she's 90.
Right.
In space.
All right. The number 1 interesting fact that I have here.
Okay.
I just love this kind of, if I come across a stat, I just take mental note. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think the body count is?
Is that counting the 30 people on the bus that may or may not have been his fault?
I don't know.
92.
72.
All right.
Nice. Good guess.
Yeah.
All right. That's 5 interesting facts. So speaking of 5, we're going to move on to test number 5, the most offensive. So we're going to help to curate the kind of disgusting, offensive things that they said or did in this movie. And then from there, we're going to compare it to Sorcerer's Apprentice, the only movie that we've done so far for season 4.
Okay.
And figure out what's more offensive, right?
Yeah.
So test number 5, the most offensive.
Damn it! I am tired of being Santa Claus! You get your together and you get your ass in the damn car. We're going!
I've got a bunch here. I'm going to read you the really important ones. That's what I did last week. It worked out pretty well. He holds the tickets he's got for repeatedly swearing, right?
Yeah.
And he says, "So much for the 3 seashells." Goes back to the bathroom. Yep. This implies that he's been walking around with shit in his butt.
Well, the first second he walks out and says there's no toilet paper, that means he's got swamp ass going like immediately.
Yeah. He's got the poopy butt. So he's just been walking around like tough guying everybody, like giving everybody masturbation.
To add insult to injury, he just emptied out like what was sitting in his stomach for the last 40 years.
Ew. Oh my God. So I wonder if it was like sludge. That first like baby black poop, you know?
Oh, fucking gross. Yeah. Moving on.
Number 4, because I didn't read 1 and 2. Maybe I will now because I'm teasing the audience. Marlboro product placement all over the place. It's not good to like tell kids to smoke. He doesn't care about his daughter, which is because of the test screening, but still, it's kind of messed up. Yeah. So anyway, number 4, Simon looks at Asian children at the museum.
Yeah.
And he says, "Ching chong chong chong." In an Asian accent. You cannot do that.
No.
That is a huge no. All right. Huxley offers sex to John Spartan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know why this bugged me so, but John Spartan goes, "Oh, yeah." Like the Kool-Aid Man.
And he's wearing like a kimono.
Yeah, he was. That's going to come up later too.
Okay.
1 hit to the head and you think you're Pancho Villa. I just talked about this, but it's definitely totally racist.
Yeah.
Not letting Bullock help take down Simon at the end is sexist, right? She has already proven that she's not a lightweight. She knocked out like a gangster dude, you know? She's willing to get in a fight. She's an asset. She would be helpful. She's
do you
a cop.
Do you think it's because he loves her and he doesn't want to bring her into danger though?
Yeah.
I'm not. We're still going to count it, but I'm just saying. Like,
I didn't think about that at all. All right. Unless you have anything else, I've got a couple. You want to just hear the other ones real fast?
Yeah, it's just list them off.
I don't like that spicy foods and salt are illegal in the future.
Yeah,
personally offensive. Does Stallone admit defeat in the like 90s action movie wars when he says the Schwarzenegger presidential library and then like Uggs?
Yeah.
And then 5, he incapacitates a stranger with a stun baton just to check to see if it works.
Yeah.
All right. Test number 6 is the most cliche. So last week we did a lightning round like I just did for the last few of test number 5. Why don't we do that this week? Because there's a bunch again.
All right.
Maybe that'll just be the new format.
Sure. Yeah, and it's an action movie, so like those are pretty much based on cliches. So
yeah, it's seriously. So there's going to be a bunch, but All right, so I'm just going to list off every moment of trope or cliche, as it were. And test number 6, the most cliche.
All I've got to say is that moving forward, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we need to know the only constant is change in these unprecedented times. So let's put our best foot forward and our aces in our places, because we're like a family, and we're in it to win.
All right, number 1, stormtroopers all over the place. All right.
Yep.
I'm going to get into one specifically in the loopholes, but number 2, the punch and kick sound effects. I wanted to open up a little dialogue on this one.
Okay.
Because this is not just, this is obviously not even just Stallone films, Arnold films, like any action film, they add in these like really crunchy sounds when somebody punches or kicks somebody else.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I chose this movie, but it just occurred to me that it's necessary though.
Yeah.
You know, because like it would take so much away from the movie if you were doing punches and kicks without that crunchy kind of sound.
Imagine if it was like when they fight on South Park and like you hear like the blows landing and it's just like you know what I mean?
Right. It's not satisfying.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but it happens in every movie, so I thought I'd mention it. Number 3, is it cold in here or is it just me? The reversal dialogue where at the very end, Stallone uses it against Snipes, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Using an eyeball for retina scanning.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. Also, is that biometrics?
That's biometrics, yes.
Number 5, the Man Out of Time debacle.
Yep.
Blah, blah. The pointless tracker ship that never comes into play.
Yep.
Right. I'll drive, you drive. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
He doesn't
the future.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. Whatever you have behind, or rather, whatever you hide behind stops bullets.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
No. He at some points in the museum, exhibit, the underground one.
Yeah.
Where they have real cars and real wood instead of just building all foam models or whatever.
Yeah.
He hides behind a wooden crate.
Yeah.
And Snipes has all these futuristic guns and stuff, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Simon gets the Matrix downloaded info.
Yep.
Which we've mentioned on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
Number 10, naked lady, wrong number, gratuitous nudity thing. Mm-hmm. They just didn't feel like they had enough boobies. So
yeah.
Number 11, the steamy underground.
Yeah. it's like the mutants from Futurama. Even in Mario Brothers, they have a whole.
It's always steamy.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't go underground all that much.
Not me either.
Maybe I should go in the backyard and just dig around.
Let's just dig a hole and see how steamy it gets.
That sounds hot.
Yeah.
Number 12, the Waterworld eyeball rat burger gross out.
Yep.
Happens a lot too. I don't blame him though. Down that thing, it tastes good.
That scene was satisfying. You ever been on a long trip and you're like, oh shit, a burger and beer?
Yes.
You eat it in 2 bites and pound 12 ounces of beer in 3 seconds.
Dude, we Aaron and I ended up at a Buffalo Wings and Rings in Florida, which is obviously a total crappy knockoff of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
And we had just driven there from Connecticut.
Yeah.
In a day and a half. And I had longer hair at the time. It was I looked like Marv from Home Alone after he had been electrocuted.
Yeah.
And Aaron was we were just super exhausted and just hanging on the bar charging our phones.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know how to get to Aaron's parents without the directions from the GPS. So we just got wings and beer, and it was the best meal I've ever had.
It always is.
Yeah. Shooting through the ceiling of the car without hitting the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon does it. They're a high-speed chase, and then Huxley puts the pedal to the metal. That should have been on the cliche list.
Yeah.
But Spartan jumps up onto the car, and he's hanging on the top, and then he's trying to get the gun away from Simon. Simon shoots through the ceiling. Somehow doesn't fucking hit him. Nobody ever hits the target.
Nope.
Unless it's an ancillary bad character.
Yeah, when it's an actual crucial scene, they're actually very good marksmen, which is what makes it stupid.
Yes, exactly. Number 14, he gets the girl.
Yep.
Number 15, he sticks it to the chief.
Yep.
And number 16, the Han Solo cryostasis idea.
Yep.
That I don't know. I didn't put it in the loopholes because who cares? But does that even really work? I don't think so.
No, I mean, no, I'm not. No, it doesn't.
I don't feel like you can thaw out a human brain and it'll just resume.
Yeah, all the synapses and stuff just start firing off like they're supposed to.
What you got to do is download your personality to the back computer.
Yeah.
And that's really what you should be trying to do.
Algorithmically, yeah, with your brain.
Yes, thank you. Algorithmically. Correct. Do you want to mention anything else? That's all I've got.
No, you pretty much covered it. Just no. There's not even the things. Now it's more loophole stuff. We'll move on.
Okay. Did we say just before we move on whether or not? I don't think we did. I found this movie more offensive than Sorcerer's Apprentice, in my opinion.
I think by design it's supposed to be. So yes, because it's somebody who's in a culture shock from being in a different period of time, and half the humor comes from we used to do it this way and now we're doing it this way. Ergo, it's going to be offensive, So
right.
I think it is more offensive, but I also think it's offensive by design. So I mean, it still gets the points for being more offensive, but it's hard to tell if it was their intention or not.
All right, so here's one for you.
All right,
here. This is the most direct comparison I can think of for the two.
Okay.
So I was a little annoyed at Sorcerer's Apprentice because Horvath assumes the woman that picks up the Grimhold is from Chinatown.
Okay.
In this movie, Simon Phoenix says "ching chong chong chong" and Asian children.
All right, good point. That's a very well thought out, cogent argument you have there.
All right, let's move it to the shitcoin.
All right. Let me just
cool. So yeah, I'm going to pull that up real quick. I'm excited for this one. I think it's pretty good. So what we do is anytime we get somebody who is trying to hit us up to buy Bitcoin from them so that they can control our money and our life from now on, we just mess with them on Instagram. So here is the shitcoin bit of the week. Take it away, Rob, with the bumper.
Okay, and I'll start this one off. And like I say all the time, I don't read these ahead of time because it's funnier that way.
It's way funnier.
So I'm doing the part of Amanda Walter FM. Hello, Wave Emoticon.
Hey there.
How are you doing today? My pleasure to meet you.
You too. You too.
I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, USA, living in Los Angeles. And you?
From Stamford, Connecticut, but living in Darien, Connecticut. Commuting to Fairfield, Connecticut. I like Bethany, Connecticut, too. Have you ever been to Connecticut?
No.
So what's up?
Are you interested in making money right from the comfort of home, house emoji, without doing the daily 9-to-5 jobs? Invest in Bitcoin today. It is the beginning of financial freedom! !
Whoa. I can work from Darien? I wouldn't have to lug to Fairfield every day? Would I use my computer? ?
Yes, you can use your computer. Do you have Cash App or Bitcoin wallet? Give me a description of your Bitcoin wallet so that I can tell you what to do next.
No, are these computer applications or can I get those applications on my phone? I don't have one yet. I hope that's okay. ?
Okay, you could download bitcoin.com with your cell phone so that we can proceed further there.
Okay. Can I get home to download that? I'm on my way home to Darien, Connecticut from Fairfield, Connecticut. By train.
All right, keep me posted.
What's that? Like stamps?
I meant you should. Get back to me when you're at home.
Oh, got it. Posted. I hope you don't mind if I steal that saying. I like it. Train says I'll be home in 6 minutes. Well, Siri says, laugh my ass off.
All right, let me know. I'm here 24/7.
I just walked in the door. My cat took a big Charleston chew right in front of the door. Give me a minute to clean that up, and I'll log into my Windows account. Sorry, it took me a minute. That was a monster born of hate and a fear of abandonment. So what do I do now? Hello? Wave emoji? We'd better hurry. My uncle gets out of his shuffleboard 7-stud high-low practice in 38 minutes by train. I have to ride over there to help him onto the train from Darien, Connecticut to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and then take the train back from Bridgeport, Connecticut to Darien, Connecticut. This is why I need a smaller commute. I'm constantly shuffling around like a Vegas card dealer trying to please everybody in my family. You know, my cousin Maxwell could help easily. He has a red Chevy Malibu, for crying out loud. He can get Auntie Paul and her medications, give Grampy Stewart a lift to the chiropractor office, and take little Shelly to her athletic events. But he just stays home and drinks Rockstars and plays Dark Souls 2 all day. Anyway, sorry to vent. I just have a lot on my plate, figuratively speaking. I don't literally. That's why I need this extra source of income.
I understand there are a lot of fake people on the net scamming people, but their methods will let you know their schemes. They ask you to send them money and they give you address. Don't send money to anyone. The best way is to invest your money by yourself and watch it grow.
You seem like a real person, really trying to help me. Why'd you pick me? Why am I so dang lucky?
Well, I'm a certified crypto expert and I help individuals gain massive income through crypto trading. I'm sure you will love to make more crypto money online through crypto. Give me a description of your Bitcoin wallet so that I can tell you what to do next.
This sounds so advanced. I'm trying to understand it.
I'm giving you a 100% guarantee that you aren't losing anything, even $1. Just trust the process and stay tuned. Keep your head up and be rest assured that you are on your way to financial.
Where did you say you were from?
I told you I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, USA, living in Los Angeles.
Seems a little fishy, Amanda.
You will understand. You will understand everything more better when the trade commence, and I believe you will be happy with the investment. I will do my job very well to enable you reach your goals of investment.
You lying. I'm not from Darien, Connecticut, by the way. I'm from Westport.
What the fuck is wrong with you? That was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. The Charleston Chew bit was my
Charleston
highlight.
Chew on the rug.
All right, let's do test number 7, the worst graphics.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna name off the good and bad, basically graphic wise, and then we're gonna compare it to the Sorcerer's Apprentice that wins.
Okay.
Because it's much better.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, test number 7, the worst graphics.
Welcome to test number 7. The worst graphics.
All right, so in the beginning, the very, very beginning, just before that guy is like, I don't know why we're here anyhow, right?
Yeah.
There's fire in the distance, and it just, you can tell it's like what somebody would use on their like MySpace page, fire, you know, back in the day. So I wrote lame.
Okay.
So I love this bit right here, and this could have just as easily gone into loopholes, but that's going to be funny enough. So the fucking bungee jump that he does out of the helicopter, right?
What the fuck was that?
I mean, if it's not a bungee cord, you got to explain that. Like, is this a future? It's 96. Like, I don't understand. Like, if it's rope, it's going to break him in half.
That will flip the helicopter.
Yeah, seriously, could cause like some serious like tug. But also, if it's not a rope and split and it doesn't split him in half, and it's a bungee jump cord, then he's going way back. He's going like 30 feet back up into the air.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just kept imagining him like shooting until he finally like stabilized enough to unclip himself.
Like 10 up and downs before he unclips it.
Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. 3 good explosions. As always. Mm-hmm. Everybody has good explosions.
Yeah, especially in 1993. You can't have a bad explosion because they're real.
Yeah, for sure. Number 4, the graffiti electricity is the thing. That's just nonsense.
Stupid.
Yeah, agreed. Number 5, computer systems, still 90s graphics, like Street Fighter, basically.
Yeah.
I wrote Poppycock.
Poppycock.
That's an official score.
Cool.
Number 6, the museum is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Number 7, graphics of the plasma transfer defrost. I just wrote,
yeah. It looks better in Austin Powers.
Yeah, way better. Agreed. Number 8, the use of business buildings to make the future seem more chill. That was another thing that I read, but they actually used like business, like depressing businesses.
They look like I used to work in the Priceline building in Darien, Connecticut, where you used to commute by train all the time. And
that's right.
And it's just, I worked in the Paychex floor, there's a Priceline floor, there's a Hitachi Capital America floor. It's just like it's just rows of like floors that look exactly the same. It's like a mall on the inside, but it's just where people work. And it's disgusting.
Yeah. It's depressing, right? Yeah. So they used those kind of futuristic looking buildings because they wanted the future to seem kind of dull.
Yeah.
Number 9, I liked Cocteau's office.
Yeah, that was cool with all like the weird chairs with faces.
Yeah, right. So like that was like a Zoom call like thing he had set up, but also like the huge fireplace.
Oh yeah, that part's also.
Yeah, that's cool too. And I assume a good view. I also read that it kept the room like 110 degrees, that fireplace.
Okay.
Yeah, so like they were sweating their asses off when they were shooting in that room. Sex helmet scene, just weird.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
It was like they were on ecstasy or something at a rave, you know?
Yeah.
The fountain cop car crash, I wrote not bad.
Yep.
Not good, not bad. The cryo gun, I thought was terrible.
Yeah, that was shitty.
Yeah, because it's like them trying to do CGI stuff they shouldn't be trying to do yet.
Yeah.
Simon's slow-mo freezing was rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
And the explosion at the end was needless but enjoyable.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And as we, do you have anything you want to mention, computer graphics wise? If not, no big deal.
No, not so much. I mean, you pretty much covered it. I did. I know you didn't like the computer graphics a lot, but when Phoenix was like on a little kiosk outside, just like clanging and banging on the keys, like I thought, that seemed somewhat believable.
That they had because it started off as like a motive, like a phone booth that motivates you to not kill yourself in this like really dull future.
Yeah.
You inspire joy feelings in everyone around you or whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of like little kiosk was kind of cool looking.
I just like the noise the buttons made when he was typing real fast.
Yeah.
I love like typing sounds.
Yeah, definitely. But I still, that said, I still think the graphics for Sorcerer's Apprentice are vastly better.
Oh, absolutely.
They had the benefit of 17 years as well. So
yeah.
All right, let's move on to the loopholes, and then we'll do bad credit names. You've already done your review, so we'll compare the movies, plug our stuff, and get out.
Yeah, sounds good.
The loopholes. So it is what it sounds like. Everything that I noticed, and Rob as well, that was just stupid.
Yes.
Cryostasis is a good way to serve your sentence, in my opinion. That's not really a prison sentence, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, since they are rehabilitating you, and the point of prison is to rehabilitate you, I could see how that would be. But if you're giving them, like, if you're downloading like espionage and racketeering and awful shit into the person who's in the rehabilitation, I guess it doesn't really work out.
No, it's not working. John does say that he experienced every second of it, but that's a lie.
Yeah, I don't believe him.
I don't either.
Yeah.
They came complete with behavior. Yeah, because you know why? I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on this. He would be insane.
Yeah, there's been like one instance recorded, or like maybe like less than 5, of people who have been in a coma for a long time who were conscious. But it's
right.
It very rarely happens, and those people are not the same when they get out.
No. Yeah. He would not be just like happy to go, gunning. They come complete when they're unfrozen with behavior modifications. And that is obvious because John, though his behavior isn't any different, he's good at sewing.
Yeah, can I jump in real quick on that actually? Because just
because
I just had the thought right now. If they're able to download thoughts into the people who are being rehabilitated, and they can learn like whatever life skills necessary for like their brain chemistry, wouldn't they have been taught how to use the seashells?
Oh yeah.
Like you think they teach them, like you think they download how to wipe your butt into like whatever future you're being thought out in?
You would think, but apparently not. They just want to laugh at him.
Yeah.
Fucking cocktoe. Stallone gets to be naked again, of course. Yeah. Also, it's another, of course, moment. His name is John Spartan, of course. It's like a really cool name. Why so many cops in a peaceful future?
That's the thing. It doesn't make sense because like if you want to defund the police today, you'd still need a shitload of social workers in uniform. Like, because cops don't come to stop the robbery, they come to get your report of what happened and make a police report. But in this utopian future, that's not even happening. So
no, nothing.
You wouldn't need a police force at all. You need like one guy and like maybe some deputies.
Right, but they have like the chief of police and all this stuff, and the warden of the prison and all this stuff. And the warden even says nothing happens anymore.
Yeah.
So why do we have like 90 police officers in San Angeles or whatever?
Yeah. I don't
know. Who knows? Phoenix unlocks the cuffs with his mind.
Yep.
There's no other moment where he uses anything mechanical with his brain.
Yeah.
So didn't really understand that. They could have just like had Cocteau controlling it from his tower.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. The lead cop that tries to take down Phoenix, and he's like the little guide that's helping him is like add or else on the end to sound more intimidating. That guy plays Babe Ruth in The Sandlot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in a couple things. So he's the Tooth Fairy in like Santa Claus 2 or something. One of the really bad ones.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he probably had, I'm probably discrediting him heavily here because he probably had a career like, in an earlier decade where he's
this is probably him just writing out like he's like, I got nothing else to do. I got my money, but like I'm kind of bored. Like,
right.
That's that point of his career, probably.
Yeah. Simon Phoenix, put down your weapons, put your hands behind. Yeah. Easy pitch.
Yeah.
Why make the graffiti wall thing lethal?
I don't know.
Is it that important? Just get somebody to scrub the graffiti off.
Yeah, I'll create jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Instead of employing like 5 more cops, you don't need to have a scrub crew for the scrap graffiti. Uncomfortable zoom setting on those Cocteau meeting chairs. So you had mentioned already like how zoomed in they are, and it's just uncomfortable. Back it up a little bit. Like imagine like I'm just doing the entire pot like this.
Yeah.
Otto from Beetlejuice made an appearance.
Yeah.
I also read that I think there's a book or a comic or something, and he's a eunuch.
Huh, so no dick?
Yeah, because Cocteau did not want him to be too ambitious.
Okay, fair enough. And like, it makes sense because the only reason things get built is so guys can get laid, basically.
Yeah, true. Just make him super vengeful.
Yeah.
Why would museums' guns be loaded?
Yeah, that's really bad move on their part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
say someone is like born a psychopath and decides to kill everyone.
Even if you go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like you can't just grab a guitar and start playing it. You gotta find a patch cable. You gotta find an amp.
Yes.
You gotta do all sorts of shit just to play like Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar.
Right,
and they doesn't have assault rifles just fully loaded, sitting behind glass.
Right. All right, we're 2 dudes. We're 2 married men, so maybe we shouldn't. Yeah. But you want to open a little dialogue and just into how gorgeous Sandra Bullock is in this movie.
Holy shit! Yes. See, I never saw that in her, but in this movie, I did.
Yeah, I think because we're more. I don't want to say we're the blindsided generation that's a little late.
Mm-hmm.
But she becomes kind of more of the like really put together pretty lady that's just doesn't have that like sexy side
or miscongeniality.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Where she's comedic,
and it's just like you can't take you seriously, and that's for attraction for me. I think if I can't like take you somewhat seriously, then I don't know. That's like half of it for me gone.
So. Agreed. But in this movie, she was looking really good.
Yes.
That radio station was it hilarious or stupid?
Oh, the oldies, the jingles.
Hot dogs. Armor.
Yeah, they're singing Armor hot dogs the same way I would sing along to like a Thursday song, like on my ride home from work. Like
it's realistic.
They're really feeling it.
Yeah, right. Because what's his face? The miscongeniality co-star, guy from Catwoman is like smiling. He's like the dogs, kids love to butt, and he's really like cheesing and getting into it, like giving the affirmative nod to Stallone in the back, like he should be singing along as well.
And back in the early cable days, like in the 90s, what they had like the old Nick network, and they had like the Brady Bunch, and they had Welcome Back Kotter and all like the older shows, and they had the old. It's not far fetched because they had the old commercials. They had like the old Snickers commercials and the old Coca-Cola commercials. So
right.
I like that scene, but it's I don't think they have it in the cars on the radio though. That's just fucked up. It's weird singing about hot dogs while you're driving.
It's pretty weird. But then the Taco Bell like piano performer was singing Jolly Green Giant.
That's right.
So it really is like their form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Simon is launched into the air by electrified water.
Yeah.
He'd just be dead.
Yeah, he'd be 100% dead.
Why would you be allowed to drive? Isn't that potentially harmful, like spicy food and salt?
Yeah, you think they wouldn't have the option to go from self-driving to I want to take the wheel. You think they'd all be self-driving, or they'd be on like a rail system or something like that? Or in
something like that.
Yeah.
Elon Musk's underground tunnel traffic avoider. Cocteau takes credit for the cryo freezing system that had been in place far before he came to power.
Yeah.
So that is a definite loophole there.
That it is.
Who fashioned Simon's gear and his crew? They have like rubber armor.
Yeah.
That looks kind of barbaric and sort of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Who, like, I don't think, unless they put armor, like rubber armor sewing into his bag of tricks.
And if there's there's no need for combat. So.
Right. Actually, you know what? If you will humor me.
Yeah.
I don't think I wrote it down in the final version, but I do have a list of the things that Simon's rehab included.
Okay.
Urban combat, kill, torture methodology, computer override authority, survival tactics, terrorism tactics, weapons training, martial arts, murder, death, kill, explosive technician, violent behavior. Yeah. I don't see anywhere in there rubber armor development.
Yeah. No shoe cobbling or anything like that.
Right. Who is he? Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
What is the sex machine thing, do you think?
I guess
telepathy.
I guess so. Well, it'd be telekinetic because telepathy is just reading minds. Telekinetic is where you can move things. So I imagine they'd still be wiggling each other's ding dongs with the eyepiece on.
She is waving around his armor hot dog under that.
Yeah.
What did you call it? Komodo?
Yeah, that's Komodo.
Speaking of which, who made Stallone's cut-off karate outfit? I wrote.
That's true.
Same vein as the rubber armor thing. Nobody would have the cut-off, like, show off my guns kind of sexy shirt, right?
Yeah.
No reason given why Cocteau Phoenix footage is playing in Spartan's office. He didn't collect it from the police department or anything. He just sits down and presses play, and it's the perfect, like, camera angle of those two having a conversation that's pertinent.
Yeah.
Does everyone have a dug-in sex pit in their apartment?
As against my lease, I can't even like fucking change a light bulb here without having to make a call. So.
Right. I mean, if you're gonna really have a wild night of helmet thinking, with your partner across the sex pit, you should probably have a sex pit.
Yeah.
He knit an entire sweater. How about just sleep?
Yeah.
Don't you have freezer lag or something?
Yeah, you slept for 40 fucking years. Yeah, go
to sleep. Stop knitting.
Yeah.
Cocteau was hiding one room away from Josh Spartan.
Yeah.
Like towards the end, he's just like on the other side of a wall. And Josh Spartan just all of a sudden is like pointing a gun at him.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to feel like Spartan like smelled him out or something. Like
call it a hunch. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cop thing. Imagine having to be plumbers that have to keep things running underground. Because the scraps would constantly be breaking the pipes to Taco Bell and places like that every fucking day.
Oh, no shit.
So that's got to be a bad job having to go down there and deal with them. I wrote the miscongeniality duo. John and Edgar are like fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
And then the gang comes down there and they're fit with Uzis and automatics and stuff. And they don't hit a single one.
Yeah.
That's the stormtrooper thing I was saying I was going to talk about later. It's
just running by a rain hail of bullets.
Yeah, exactly. It's also maybe worth mentioning. I almost put it in the worst graphics, but they had it was almost like a temple of what was that Nickelodeon show?
Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yeah.
Underground, because there was like a bridge that flipped and like a table that broke and like a set, just set designs all over the place that like were booby trapped and stuff on purpose.
And if you didn't have a silver coin, a temple guard would molest you.
Dude, that's true. That is, you're not kidding.
And the monkey is only 3 parts and they can never fucking put it together.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Oh, man.
That show was kind of crazy, man.
It was.
Those temple guards were kind of intimidating.
Yeah, they were there.
Why do they provide the scraps with water, gas, and electricity anyway? Just turn it all off and then they'll have to come up and you can kill them.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
It's like the Grinch.
It's one of those things where you sweep them under the rug. Like maybe they are providing a function that you don't want to do. And that's why you can't completely get rid of them. Like maybe they're keeping water because like you need, if in a city, you need like to pump the water out from underneath or it's going to blow the streets out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe there's like, they're kept down there with limited resources. So they're barely alive, but they're functional, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe they're eating rat burgers. So they're keeping the vermin count down.
Exactly.
Maybe they gave them poking sticks to like pass the poop down the sewer lines too or something. Cocteau hadn't thought one of these other gang members could kill me.
Yeah.
You don't learn MMA from watching Jackie Chan movies.
No.
Trust me on that one. I've seen a lot of Jackie Chan. I don't know how to throw a proper like kick to your head.
No.
Why does Cocteau Industries have a building or why is it that in their building they have 80 plus frozen inmates?
Privatization of prison.
The warden of the prison is involved in the, like they show a side building in the beginning, like another facility, police facility, where they are doing the unfreezing, like the defrosting of criminals and parole sentencing. And that's where you are to assume that the frozen inmates are.
Yeah.
But then at the end, they're at Cocteau Industries.
Yeah.
Without any explanation.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
What about the rest of the world? Is it all desolate? Like, is it like Dino Hatton?
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, because they're in San Angeles, right? Or was it San Angeles? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's like future New Detroit like?
Who knows? Yeah, exactly. Is it gone? Maybe. Freezing inches thick steel beams in seconds.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's gonna work. Can't you just walk away? Okay, so this is my last one, and I really like it.
Okay.
Maybe you can find a flaw in mine. Can't you just walk away from a verbal violation of the morality statute? Here's my thinking on this, because it can't identify you by your voice. That was my immediate guess, is that they know everyone's voice. They have it all. They have it all in the system. But they wouldn't have they wouldn't have John. Maybe they would, but they definitely wouldn't have Simon in the system. And he blares the siren all the time, right? So it can't be from his voice. And they are issued way too far away to be like facial scans. Yeah. Because there's many times that Simon says something in like 3 rooms away. There's
a telephone pole or something too. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's not facial scan technology either. So I'm saying just don't pay him.
Yeah.
It's just going off because it recognized a swear word.
Yeah. That's a good point. And what I did love about that though, aside from that glaringly obvious thing I overlooked, is they did not skip a beat on those things throughout the entire movie. Even if they're in the background, if they're just buzzing in the background, like someone's going like, fuck, like you hear something like 3 rooms over going like violation. And it's just like, it's just, that's very office culture. That's very like the thing's meant to do a function and it does it the entire time, whether or not it's like you're in the foreground or in like the background.
Right. But you got to give him credit for consistency.
Yeah.
It's a little funny. I think there's even one when John's at dinner with Cocteau at Taco Bell. There's even like one that flares in like far distant Taco Bell.
Yeah.
When he gets angry. All right, let's do bad credit names unless you want to throw something in there.
No, you poked a lot of holes in this movie, and I still really enjoyed it. So
yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We'll see how it stacks up against Sorcerer's Apprentice in a minute. I'm just going to read you the bad credit names.
Sure.
And here's something that I threw in there that doesn't really count. Just wanted to say that Demolition Man by Sting is objectionable.
Yeah.
That's all. Buddy Joe Hooker is back.
Yeah.
Buddy Joe. What's up, Hooker? Michael Tennessee Lee.
Okay.
Maybe you know him.
Maybe.
Rhino Michaels.
Okay.
Rhino. Joseph Bachchin.
Bachchin?
Yes. Eric Reasoner.
Okay.
Bub Assman.
That's the best one so far.
Yeah, that might be the best one. Michael James Koo.
Okay.
Grand L. Bush is back.
Nice.
He was the number one for, and here's my last one. Carl Stencil.
Ugh. That's just that's unfortunate.
I don't know why it really made me chuckle when I saw the last name Stencil.
Yeah.
All right, let's compare the movies.
Okay.
Sorcerer's Apprentice. It was the worst of its kind.
Yeah.
With a negative 2%.
Okay.
Demolition Man, negative 0.2%, and was the second worst. So we're not rating worst of its kind for that one. So Sorcerer's Apprentice clearly wins that category.
Yep.
Sorcerer's Apprentice also wins the plot category with a light 2.
A light 2. Yeah.
Yes. You would not make that movie either. You would make Demolition Man, and it got a 2.5.
Okay.
The dialogue is worse for Demolition Man, making it a score of 2-1.
Okay.
The acting is worse for Sorcerer's Apprentice, making it 3-1.
Okay.
Offensive. Demolition Man is more offensive.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So through five tests, it's 3-2.
Okay.
Cliches. There were 28 for Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay.
So that's going to make the difference. Although Demolition Man had worse graphics, it's still 4-3. Close fight.
Yeah.
So the worst movie of season 4 still through 2 movies is Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay.
I'm just going to write that in. And then let's do a live look-in at our poll for the week, Rob.
Right.
This is big. This is big.
Yeah.
I just want to check the social media platforms because, all right, so I'm looking at one. I'm going to tally this up. Okay.
I know it's close.
Armor hot dogs. Oh, my God.
What's the deal?
All right, so we've got 36 votes on Instagram.
Yep.
It's 18-18.
Senseless to Gotti.
Yes. However, my personal Facebook poll, combined with Twitter and Reddit, it looks like Senseless has won by 1 vote.
Yes.
So finally,
yes,
Rob, how many weeks in a row?
Since mid-season 2. So fucking no, like 10 weeks maybe. Aside, we gotta skip the Christmas ones because we were doing Christmas movies versus Christmas movies.
Yeah, that's
and there's no debate like Die Hard with Senseless where it's like, oh, it's totally a Christmas movie. So
obviously it's not. So
I would say like a whole season's worth, like 8 episodes of Senseless.
Easy. Yeah. We're finally doing it, buddy.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Right. I wish I could say that I'm looking forward to it, but I never do because they're all bad.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, everybody.
Oh, good. It's on HBO Max. Thank you for saying that. And speaking of where you can find things, where can you find our audio?
Oh, yeah. So just go on your podcast app and search for The Worst Movie Ever Made. The big ones are Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple, iTunes, Google Play, and Pocket Casts. If you use something like Overcast or Podcast Addict, you could find the RSS feed on Anchor and you could download it onto your podcast app and then you could listen to it however you'd like. And then you could email us at theworstmovieevermade@gmail.com or worstmovieevermade@gmail.com.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, the wasn't available. It's worstmovieevermade@gmail.com. Check us out at Worst Movie Pod on Twitter. r/the worst movie ever made on Reddit, and the underscore between all the words of the worst movie ever made on Instagram. That's where you can find us. That's where we're most active. Check us out on Instagram. We post there like 4 or 5 times a week. It's a lot of fun. You should join us. Thank you so much for listening.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week, and you better watch Senseless.